the show. We are on Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Highlights, Bengals Radio Network, ESPN 1530 in Cincy. They are happy today as the Cincinnati Bengals upset the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31 last night, a Thursday night football in the icy hot bowl. Of course, you had baseball last night. The Dodgers, Smalls' squad that she loves, up 3-0 after a 3-1 win over Milwaukee, and the Blue Jays, as CC predicted, tied the series up with the Mariners with an 8-2 victory over Seattle last night. And, of course, the road to the World Series goes through ESPN Radio. Catch all the postseason action on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And you could be a part of Unsportsmanlike Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us at 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation, presented by Dr. Pepper. It's not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Along with Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you. Good morning, and I cannot believe, even though I know you said this could happen, CC, that the Steelers blew it last night.
Yeah, nobody thought the 40-something-year-old that would lose last night would be Aaron Rodgers. Between him, Max Scherzer, Joe Flacco, everybody thought that it was going to be one of the other two because the Pittsburgh Steelers were 4-1 and looked like the class of the AFC North. This is going to be a fascinating division race.
Is this why Mike Tomlin was calling out Andrew Berry for trading Joe Flacco to the Bengals? We were wondering why he would say that. Is this why? Because he knew that this could be on the horizon? Probably.
Like I said, they got projectors. They got film in the Pittsburgh Steelers practice facility. They saw what I saw in the second half of that Green Bay Packers game where Joe Flacco throws for 175 yards and 2 tutties. They know exactly what it is. And that was a guy that had gotten there, 4 days before they played the Packers that week?
Yep.
And now we're talking about less than, 10 calendar days, Joe Flacco going out there on Thursday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is supposed to be the best team. I couldn't help but go to the place when I was watching that game that Joe Flacco could be moved to a AFC North team in Ohio in the middle of the season and find a way to get that team to the postseason. That is the first place that my mind went. I know it's premature.
Again? Do it again.
Exactly. I know it's premature. I know it's early. But to do that not once but twice, that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I can't determine whether or not this was the Pittsburgh Steelers revealing who they really are, which is a team that was stacking some wins, but we can't really trust them, or it's the Cincinnati Bengals establishing themselves. Like, was this a probative win for them? Because you see Joe...
What do you think? Because it was early, you were going to catch me on the word of the day?
Yeah, she tried. She tried. Less than 5 minutes into the show.
Come on now.
What we got? What is it?
Proving or establishing something.
Okay.
So was this a probative win for Cincinnati? They're sitting there. They're kind of lurking in that division. Now Joe Flacco has obviously sparked this offense in a different way. Could they be coming alive a little bit?
Yeah, I think they're proving to themselves that with Joe Flacco, they've got a puncher's chance at being able to win against anybody, especially when you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But to me, that game was much more about the Pittsburgh Steelers losing it than the Cincinnati Bengals winning it. I said all week that the Steelers have no excuse not to run away with the AFC North with the misfortune that's happened with the Cincinnati Bengals, with the misfortune that's happened with the Baltimore Ravens. Both of those teams losing their starting quarterbacks. And then, oh, by the way, the Cleveland Browns are rolling out 2 rookie quarterbacks that we're going to get a look at throughout the rest of the regular season. So Mike Tomlin and that team, led by Aaron Rodgers, had an opportunity last night to take a 3.5-game lead in the AFC North, and they squandered it. They were up double digits in the second quarter. They had a chance to put that game away. They had a chance to put the division away. And now they've just made it that much harder on themselves because everybody in that division, and I mean everybody, feels like they got hope now. Because if Joe Flacco can do that to that Steelers defense, if Aaron Rodgers is going to commit those turnovers that we saw in the second quarter that led to 10 Bengals points, then all of a sudden, on any given game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got a chance to best them.
Oof.
Joe Flacco's start is basically, I think, statistically one of the best 2-game starts of a quarterback on a new team in the history of the sport. But the Steelers thing is where we go. Shame on me and anyone else who bought into what I was saying on this in going against Vegas. Because Vegas at ESPN Bet, they kept telling us, hey, this division's not over. The odds were not necessarily all in the Steelers' favor, and they lose last night, as the CC just mentioned. They were up 10-0 in this game. Then Cincy takes a 20-10 lead, 20 unanswered, 27-17. Then Pittsburgh's up 31-30, and then they allow a game-winning drive to Flacco. And now you're looking at the Steelers, and you're like, well, wait a minute. At 4-2, Pittsburgh has the Packers, the Rogers Bowl. I'm not definitely picking Pittsburgh, CC, you've been saying for this week, don't write off the Colts as a fake team, that they are real. Okay, well, then you're going to pick them over to the Steelers at the Chargers? Those next 3 games are very difficult. And now I don't know that I could sit here and say definitively, as I did yesterday before this game, that they were going to win the division. I can't believe we're here.
I don't understand it, Ev.
Well, what are you doing? You had it on a silver platter. You're playing against a third-string quarterback in essence. I know it's Joe Flacco. I know he is not one of the greats of his era, but one of the second-level guys of his era.
Yeah, but he had that rash of turnovers. The Browns move on from him.
What are they doing? Like, how do you blow this last night?
Ev, I didn't get what the Pittsburgh Steelers' approach on offense was. They were running the ball well at the beginning of that game. First quarter, they had 6 rushes for 44 yards, 7.3 a pop. They figured out something with the multiple tight end sets, bringing in the extra offensive linemen. That Cincinnati Bengals defensive front didn't know where Jalen Warren was coming or going.
They said it on the broadcast.
They had him confused. They had him. They had a 10-point lead to start the second quarter, and they were running the football well. Why the hell did you have more pass attempts in the second quarter than rush attempts?
And some of
Think
them
about this. Let me tell you this. They ran the ball on the first play of the second quarter. Mm-hmm. They didn't run the ball again in the second quarter until the play right before the 2-minute warning.
With a lead.
What the hell are you doing? That's on Mike Tomlin. That's on Aaron Rodgers. That ain't on nobody else. And oh, by the way, if you're so concerned about Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, you're so worried about what that offense can be now that they've got a competent quarterback, how about you don't put your defense in that situation? Don't let that offense get on the field. Run the football. They couldn't stop it at all. But you know what? They didn't run the football. The only people that stopped the Steelers from running the football is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as a result, Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins had a chance to put their imprint on that game. And you know what makes it even worse, Ev? The Pittsburgh Steelers this offseason went out and made moves and added to their secondary, specifically their cornerback room, so they could defend this Bengals offense with them 2 avatars playing wide receiver.
Yeah.
They went out and traded Minkah Fitzpatrick to bring over Jalen Ramsey because he's a taller corner, 6 foot plus. They went out and signed Darius Slay, corner, 6 foot plus, to go along with Joey Porter Jr., corner, 6 foot plus. They got all of these tall corners, tall, rangy guys to try to defend Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Guess what? Let me tell you how that worked out. Joe Flacco, when targeting Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, 22 of 33, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 110 passer rating, and a snap-to-throw time of 2.29 seconds. Yeah. So you went out and did all of that for this team specifically, and they kicked your ass 6 ways to Sunday. I'm sorry, Thursday.
With a guy who's been there 2 weeks.
Yes.
At quarterback.
It is an embarrassment for the Pittsburgh Steelers. There is no way to put lipstick on a pig on that loss.
Why are we so upset by this? You and I are like agitated.
It's because you want to believe in Mike Tomlin.
You know why? Because there's no excuse, Ev. We talked about it all week.
Fans. Why are we so annoyed by it?
Because you're emotionally invested in Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You're emotionally invested in Mike Tomlin's success.
By the presser. I think, Smalls, I was thrown off by the Andrew Berry call out this week as to like what's happening here. Did Rodgers infect you? What's going on here? You're just like, that's not Mike Tomlin.
It's so out of his character. To not only say stuff like that, but to call someone out specifically, he is the model of keeping stuff like that in-house and not making a headline.
So is that like, hey, we better be ready for Flacco, see, I told you so? Or Smalls, what's the word? When you speak something into existence, it's manifesting.
Manifesting.
You're a big believer in that.
Love manifesting.
Did he actually manifest a loss?
Well, I think maybe he told on himself a little bit. We were wondering why he would bring that up, and maybe we know. Maybe it's because he realized that this could be an issue for them. But again, I still don't know why he would tip his hand in that way. That makes no sense to me. It's so anti-Mike Tomlin.
I don't know why we're so agitated by this, but this was a golden opportunity for the. And you know what's interesting? before the season, CC said this is going to be the worst season of Mike Tomlin's career. Rodgers is going to be done after this year. Tomlin and the Steelers mutual parting of ways. I said this is going to be the first losing season of his career. Yet we're mad that we're right. It's the weirdest. Like, they still now, a losing season, on the table. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers breaking up after this season, on the table. Rodgers not playing after this season, on the table. This was a literally shoot yourself in the foot kind of game. It's ridiculous that they lost this game. Rodgers said, though, after the game, he's not going to ride the roller coaster. It's going to be okay.
Well, I think you got to realize, listen, we want to win every game. There needs to be an expectation of winning, but
Mike Tomlin, who we love, was riding the roller coaster this week because he talked about Andrew Berry screwing him. Andrew Berry is the general manager of the Browns. He has nothing to do with the game between the Bengals and the Steelers. We love Mike Tomlin. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Riding the roller coaster, you're calling out somebody who is not involved in the game. There's another part to this, which we got to get to. The team that won, we have to give them a ton of credit for the way in which the Cincinnati Bengals played, but we will do that after CC has this from Granger.
As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy, but for the ones who always rise to the challenge, Granger has your back. From professional-grade products you can count on to fast, dependable delivery, they're